Hey guys. So after filming what I wanted for this video dozens of times, um, I finally decided that I think it would be better if I split this into two parts. So, I mean, I thought about this for a while, and as for the various errors that I didn't realize until the last second, um, I checked my Blu-ray collection twice before doing this video. So, yeah, I mean, you must be like, well, you're working too hard. You'd probably, people make mistakes. Uh, when it comes to somebody like me, for example, when it comes to me making a mistake, I just try to make up for it, whatever it takes. Um, Mostly, this is probably due to my autism and everything, and that's something that I don't. There's a few things about me that I don't really like to. That I'm really not comfortable sharing with some of my viewers, but uh, I want to be honest with you guys. I do have autism. I had it my whole life. Um, it's when it comes to me having this, it's really difficult to function sometimes. But I do my best to give what I want to give for you guys when it comes to talking about stuff on this channel. Um, so for my Blu-ray collection, like I said, I checked everything twice because I wanted to do this in alphabetical order. Previously, you might have realized in one version of this video, I accidentally screwed up on the W's and I accidentally screwed up on the I's. For example, after I did the Iron Man movies, I mixed them up. After that, I put the Invisible Man, and I was like, oh, that doesn't go there. I didn't realize that until I watched the video, and I'm like, oh. But yeah. But as soon as I finish filming, I'm gonna edit, post it, check it twice before delivering the final cut that I want, for real this time. So yeah, but you're probably like, you posted this over and over again, and it's like, but mostly, I just want to make up for my mistakes, so I truly apologize. After I fix my errors, I promise I will deliver new content. So yeah. But you'll definitely see me doing a VHS collection video and various other reviews for certain movies, and probably 2 or 3 of the Sean Connery Bond movies, but probably 2, but definitely 2. I'll probably add a third in there if I have more time, but yeah, I'll save that for another time. But so, without further ado, here is part 1 of my Blu-ray collection. It's showtime. I always love a good Beetlejuice impression, so anyway, showtime. 300. The Accountant. Alien. Instant classic. Aliens. One of my favorite sci-fi action movies ever. Also directed by James Cameron. That's also a plus. American Sniper. Love that one. My favorite werewolf film of all time. An American Werewolf in London. Argo. Army of Darkness. Avatar. One of my favorite superhero movies of all time. The Avengers. Now, when it comes to the Avengers movies, I decided to do these in chronological order. There are a few movies and different types of franchises in this collection that you will see in chronological order, and not completely in alphabetical order. So, just want to make that clear. So, anyway. I don't have Age of Ultron, but I do have Avengers Infinity War. Avengers Endgame, which is possibly my favorite out of the Avengers movies. Back to the Future trilogy, which comes with, of course, Back to the Future, Back to the Future Part 2, and Back to the Future Part 3. And I love that they added like the poster designs from Part 1, 2, and 3. Mostly when it comes to these, I mostly like the poster design for both 1 and 3. But I love this trilogy. Bad Boys Double Feature, which comes with Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2. One of my favorites from my childhood, Batman. And I like that it comes with this, like, one photo of the final confrontation between Batman and the Joker. But mostly when it comes to that movie, I watched that various times I watched that countless times with my family and my friends. And when I watched it with my grandfather every time, he said that Jack Nicholson was always his favorite Joker. But anyway, Batman Begins. Funny thing, I was 7 years old when I saw this in theaters. Freaked me out a bit, but I still loved it. Batman Returns. When it comes to this movie, it's okay, but I do like the Ultimate Edition better, but it's still okay for me, but mostly when it comes to the fight scenes, I just skip to those and that's it. Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Birdman. Probably Michael Keaton's best movie. Black Panther. Wakanda Forever! Blade. Blade 2. I am so happy to have this. The Bourne trilogy. Which comes with The Bourne Identity, The Bourne Supremacy, The Bourne Ultimatum. Put these back in here. Bride of Frankenstein. Bruce Almighty. Captain America 3 movie collection. Comes with Captain America the First Avenger. Captain America the Winter Soldier. And Captain America Civil War. My personal favorite. And I'm pretty sure everybody would say the same thing. When it comes to the Captain America movies, I mean. One of my personal favorite James Bond movies, and I recently got this on 4K, Casino Royale. Clash of the Titans. I only watched this once on TV, but it's a classic though. The Conjuring. The Conjuring 2. Mostly I like the first Conjuring the best. But I like them both either way. Creed. Now, we'll admit that the Rocky franchise has had its ups and downs over the years, but this is the proper way to reintroduce an iconic franchise, but in a different way, of course, when you have the son of Apollo Creed being trained by Rocky Balboa. When it comes to Michael B. Jordan and Sylvester Stallone in this movie, they have great chemistry together, and it's kind of like it's sort of like a repeat of the Rocky storyline. I mean, this time with Adonis basically becoming Rocky and Rocky becoming Mickey. But still, I love this movie. Creed 2. Curse of Chucky. One of my favorite movies ever made. The Dark Knight. When it comes to Heath Ledger, he nailed it as the Joker, and his Oscar win was well deserved. And everybody in this cast, they nailed it. But still, Christian Bale, he is my Batman. The Dark Knight Rises. Good way to end a trilogy for sure. And this recently became one of my favorite movies starring Liam Neeson. Darkman. Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Deadpool. That was probably my, tied with, when it comes to my three-way tie of my favorite movies of 2016, there's Deadpool, Captain America Civil War, and Rogue One. But Deadpool, it's right up there. Deadpool 2. The Departed. One of my favorite action movies of all time. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Die Hard. Die Hard 2. I promise I will get Die Hard with a vengeance soon. Django Unchained. What can I say about Quentin Tarantino, one of the best directors in the business? Dr. No. I'm sorry I don't have a cover for this, but it came in a 3-movie Blu-ray pack that my dad got for me for Christmas when I was a kid. There was 3 different Bond movies in that pack. There was Dr. No, Live and Let Die, and Die Another Day. So I'm mostly stuck with Dr. No, but I still love it. It's a good Bond movie. Dr. Sleep. This was easily my favorite Stephen King adaptation last year. Way better than Pet Sematary and It Chapter 2. Doctor Strange. Dracula Complete Legacy Collection. Now it comes with Dracula, Dracula's Daughter, Son of Dracula, House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula, and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. 6 movies in one pack. I'll take it. Drag Me to Hell. Now, I'll admit I haven't watched this yet, but I plan to at least review it for my 3rd season of my Halloween special. I bet it's good, though. Escape from New York. Call me Snake. I love Kurt Russell in that movie. I'll give you a hint just by the music. Of course it's E.T. One of my favorite movies by Steven Spielberg. Easily one of the best directors in the business as well. The Evil Dead. It was only a matter of time before I had this in my collection, but to any newcomers and any newcomer subscribers on my channel, you probably knew that I would have this in my collection. But what I mostly like the most about this steelbook case is that they have Ash holding his chainsaw all bloodied up and everything. But but it still comes with the classic poster design if you've seen the poster for the movie. But it's definitely one of the best horror films from the 80s and probably one of the best horror films ever made. Evil Dead 2. When it comes to the Evil Dead movies, it's kind of hard for me to decide which one I love the most. Army of Darkness, I watched the first in the trilogy, then I watched Evil Dead 2, and then the original. Mostly, I kind of love Evil Dead 2 the best. The first rule about Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. Unless you're talking about it on my channel. I completely love this movie. I have so much I want to say about this movie, but I'll save that for another video. Rest in peace, Brian Dennehy. First Blood. Easily one of the best action films from the 80s. Probably one of the best of all time, for my opinion. Also, another steelbook. Comes with the... I mean, it's kind of like the classic poster design that you would expect from the... I actually have like a metal poster that, I mean, you could see in my background. I mean, my primary background, if you've seen like a few of my previous videos. And I love this this one badass design for Rambo. I mean, just by him just holding his knife. But anyway, I just completely love this movie just by its performances and action sequences and the impressive amount of stunt work. I absolutely love this movie. Hello, my name's Forrest Gump. My mama always said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. When it comes to Forrest Gump, I absolutely adore this movie. But as for if it was deserving a Best Picture of 1990, if it was the Best Picture of 1994, I don't necessarily 100% agree with that, even though I still love this movie. But, I mean, 1994 is probably my favorite year of movies. It's probably the best year for movies, for my opinion. Even though I wasn't alive at that time. I mean, we had 3 great movies. I mean, Forrest Gump was one of them, and we had The Shawshank Redemption, and of course, Pulp Fiction. So, yeah. For your eyes only. Also, when it comes to Roger Moore as James Bond, I don't really mind him. There's like a few of the Roger Moore movies that I do like. I don't, I'm not saying that he was a bad Bond. I mean, he was good. There's like a few that I would say that are my favorite. Possibly 2. I mean, one of my favorites is The Spy Who Loved Me, and of course, For Your Eyes Only. As for what I think of Moonraker, I'd say it's okay, but I mean, there's still an amount of silliness that kept me from not like watching it over and over again, like many other Bond movies. But still, I mean, I pretty much like this one. Freddy versus Jason. Now, when it comes to when it comes to the teenagers, you don't really care for them all that much. You just want to see Freddy and Jason just kick each other's asses, which they do, and the outcome of their fight, brutal as hell. Friday. One of my favorite comedies. Friday the 13th 8-movie collection. Now it comes with Friday the 13th Uncut. I pretty much like the uncut version more than I do the theatrical cut, mostly because, I mean, if you watch the original, if you watch the theatrical cut, you'll notice that, like, some kills were kind of, like, trimmed. They kind of, like, cut, like, certain scenes from the film, mostly because, I mean, they of course would have trouble with the Motion Picture Association of America, but mostly because I mean, if they went all out with a lot of blood and gore, the movie would have, of course, received an X rating, which is pretty much the kiss of death for movies. So it also comes with Friday 13th Part 2, which I don't really mind. Friday 13th Part 3, which, I mean, some people like it, some people hate it, but it's the first time we see Jason wearing his hockey mask. Friday 13th The Final Chapter, which is one of my personal favorites, by the way, especially since it has Corey Feldman. Part 5 A New Beginning, which I absolutely hate with my guts. Part 6, Jason Lives, which is my personal favorite in the franchise, even though it doesn't really take itself too seriously, and I'm perfectly fine with that, but, I mean, we don't need, like, all these gory horror movies to be so serious. Just have a little fun with those. Part 6, The New Blood, which a lot of fans will say it's pretty much like Carrie versus Jason, but it's still fun either way. And probably one of the worst in the franchise, Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, I'll say that it's boring, but it does at least have like a few good kills. So, yeah. One of the best Bond movies starring Sean Connery, From Russia with Love. Furious 7. Now, when it comes to the Fast and the Furious movies, I just really think it should have ended with this one. As for Paul Walker, rest in peace. Get Out. If there's something strange in the neighborhood, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Such a catchy theme song. The Gift. My favorite movie starring Russell Crowe, Gladiator. Are you not entertained? And also, when it comes to Ridley Scott's movies, it's kind of hard for me to decide which I love the most. I love Alien, and I love this movie for sure. And I also like Thelma and Louise, which sadly I do not have in this collection yet, but don't worry, it will be here soon. But I love Gladiator. Godzilla. Now, when it comes to this American version of Godzilla, it's certainly much an improvement over the 1998 abomination, which should never be mentioned of. I just want to forget that movie ever existed. But when it comes to the 2014 Godzilla, I love that one. Well, I mean, actually I take that back. I mean, I like it, but it's not perfect. It's enjoyable either way. Possibly Pierce Brosnan's best Bond movie, GoldenEye. One of the best Bond films of all time, Goldfinger. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you are aware that Honor Blackman recently passed, like, earlier this month. Just her introduction in this movie alone, I mean, it's iconic even to this day, where she introduces herself to Bond, and he's like, I must be dreaming. I love this movie. Goodfellas. Good old Martin Scorsese. Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. My favorite horror film of all time, Halloween. Probably the best sequel in the franchise, Halloween 2018. And this one, even though it's not perfect, it's still enjoyable to watch, Halloween 2. Now, these are the only 2 Harry Potter movies that I have, but don't worry, it's a work in progress. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. And my personal favorites, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Hellboy. Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. The Hunger Games. Hunger Games Catching Fire. Inception. Independence Day. Inglourious Bastards. Inside Man. Invisible Man. When it comes to Robert Downey Jr., he is Iron Man. I don't have Iron Man 2, but I do have Iron Man 3. You'll float to it. Dun 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 dun. Jaws. I adore this movie. Some of the best action films in recent years. John Wick. John Wick Chapter 2. John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. And one of my favorite movies of last year, Joker. When it comes to Joaquin Phoenix, he's definitely the best Joker that we've had since Heath Ledger, and definitely an improvement over Jared Leto's forgettable performance in Suicide Squad. And his Oscar win for Best Actor, very well deserved. So that's it for part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. And until next time, take care, and thank you so much as always for watching. I'm looking forward to doing more videos really soon, and if you want my thoughts on old or new movies, as well as want to know if you want to check out my gameplay for certain video games, of course, you know where to find me.